Welcome to the Spook's Guide to the Africa Twin. This is my bike, my ride, my daily ride, and my adventure ride. It is a 2016 Africa Twin, the DCT model, the first year they came out. So it does have a couple first year teething problems in it, but I love this bike. I think it's awesome. The one criticism I do have of it is it's pretty heavy. It's a heavy bike, so when it goes over, it's hard to stop it once it starts going over because it's quite so heavy. And then once it's down, you got to know how to pick it up. So I'll link to the description below, but we did a video on 3 different ways you can lift up your heavy adventure bike when it falls. So we'll leave that link in the description. But let's go through my bike and some of the things I've done on my bike. We'll just go from front to back, all the little mods that I put on along the way. Probably the first one we hit is the Headlight Guard. That's an Altrider Headlight Guard. I put it on there right after I learned that if you crack that headlight assembly, it's about $1,500 for a new one. So it's worth the kind of a few $100 it's going to cost you, $100 or so to get one of these grills put on there, keep it up. Then obviously the Altrider crash bars. It's a bit like an Altrider shop threw up on my bike here, but I really like their stuff and it's a good value for money. So I've got Altrider crash bars to protect the fairings in the bike. I've also got the lower crash bars on here to protect the engine and some of the lower down components. There is a joining piece that joins these two together to give it a bit more stability. I don't normally ride with that on, as you can see. I just think it's a bit of overkill. This does what I want. If I was going around the world, then yeah, I would probably put the joining piece on. Then down here in the front, I just got some cheap radiator guards here to keep the sticks and the rocks and such out of the radiator. And then one of the things the early Africa Twin are prone to is fork seal leaking or fork seal failures. I've already had one of these fork seals kind of go on me, so I've got these fork seal protectors from Kriega just to protect the fork seals a little bit. Make them last longer. I'll probably replace the suspension eventually, but when I need to, not necessarily beforehand. Then up here on the bike, we've got Barkbuster handguards. Africa Twin does come with handguards, but they're not really sturdy. You want this kind of steel reinforced bit on your handguards in case you do fall. And then you'll notice here too, I've also got the Atlas throttle lock. I'll do a full video on the Atlas throttle lock, but it's good for long trips. I was going to say it gives you hand relief on long trips, but that doesn't probably sound right. What it does is it allows you to take your hand off. So you can set a particular speed, press the button, it will hold the throttle in that particular position, which allows you to take your hand off. So if you're starting to cramp up or you just need to relax a little bit. Even when the friction's on, you can still move it a little bit and fine tune whether you're going faster or slower. And once you want the throttle to come off, just press the X button and it releases the friction there. So nice on long trips to give you a bit of a break for your right hand. Up here on the dash bar, I've got a quad lock to hold the phone on there. There has been some windscreen mounts breaking, with heavy GPSs on here, but I figure your phone's not that heavy, and that's primarily what I'm using for nav. And it's easy on, easy off, this quad lock thing, as you can see. And as you can also see, I've got the accessory power point so that I can power the phone, and I can also power a GoPro that I usually keep on the bike while we're riding as well. I've also got the original equipment manufacturer heated hand grips on here, which are actuated just here. There's a couple of different settings to it. They work fine. The only criticism I have is that it's probably my fault. I frequently occasionally turn that on, and I don't mean to, and all of a sudden I wonder why my hands are getting a little bit warmer than they should be. But if you've ever ridden in cold weather, they're a lifesaver. I've got down here, I've got the center stand option that was from the manufacturer as well. It came as part of the package when I bought it. Invaluable, I think, when you want to work on the bike. I've got a little expander that I just bought off eBay that makes the surface area of the kickstand just a little bit greater, so if you're in soft sand or dirt or something like that, you can handle the weight just a little bit better as well. One thing I did put on the kickstand, I've just got the the Honda bash plate that it came with, and I'll probably replace that eventually, but it's enough for now. And the one thing, if you just got a new bike, and if you just got this bike, and you ask me what's the one thing you would spend money on first, I would say these foot pegs. The Africa Twin, at least in the early days, came with ridiculously small foot pegs. And I put these wider kind of foot pegs to give me more control off-road in the dirt and the sand. Phenomenal difference, just getting a decent sized foot peg on your bike. It's well worth it. One of the criticisms I do have of this Africa Twin in the early days is this pillion peg assembly. It's quite large and it sticks out quite a lot. And when you've got your leg kind of right here, you're kind of frequently bashing into this thing. I would just completely take it off. You can just pull these two screws out and take it off, and I have as well. The only problem is this assembly here, this bit here, is what holds the OEM panniers on. So I've got the Honda OEM panniers that came as part of the deal when I bought the bike, and the bottom of the pannier is secured to this part of the foot peg. So if I take the foot peg assembly off, I can't really ride with my panniers anymore. Bit of a pain. As you can see, I've got the Mosko Moto tank bag. I'll link to the description. I did a full unboxing of this when I got it. I'll do a fuel review of it once I've had a chance to ride with it a bit more. But it is pretty convenient, and it does do double duty as a backpack. So when we go to a national park or something and I want to just put a backpack on and go, it does double as a backpack. It does double as a hydration pack. There's a bladder inside, and which gets the weight off your back. And here in Australia in the summertime, man, it gets hot. So it's nice not to have that weight on my back when we're riding. Not only from a weight point of view, but just from a temperature point of view. And then lastly, kind of the last mod towards the rear of the bike, two more I will talk about, is this Altrider luggage racks. All right, so if you're gonna go on a multi-day trip, you're gonna need a luggage rack of some sort. Again, it looks a bit like Altrider threw up on my bike. Love their stuff. But you can get any number of different luggage racks that go in the back. I just figured I'd get the Altrider one to go with all the rest of the stuff. And then lastly, if you're going to go in the dirt on the old Twin, you're going to need some decent tires. The ones that come from the factory are really kind of more road-based tires. You could do occasional gravel road with it, but if you want to do anything serious, you're going to need some new tires. This one is the Motaz Tractionator. It's a good tire. I really like it. Lots of grippy. A little bit squirrely in the wet on the pavement. And on the front, we've got a Pirelli Scorpion on the front as well. This has been a really great tire. As you can see, it doesn't look like it has much wear in it, but we've done thousands and thousands of kilometers on that tire, and it's still got a lot to go left, I reckon. So that is my Africa Twin, and that's my ride on all our Next Adventure Show episodes. So we'll see you on the next adventure. Cheers.